When I wasn't invited to my brother's housewarming party, I drove up and saw everyone in the garden. I called. He said, "Why do we need you? You always ruin everything." And Mom added loudly, "This house is not for mistakes like you." I said, "You don't need anything else. I'll remember that, and so will you." For weeks later, I made a move no one expected. Now they're begging, "Please tell us how Tio fixed this. We didn't mean for this to happen." This is going to sound weird, and honestly, I've been sitting on it for weeks trying to decide whether to even post. But here I am. I'm not looking for sympathy, not fishing for validation. I just need to get this out. Maybe someone out there will get it. My name's Noah. I'm 27. I've got an older brother, Jordan. He's 28 and has always been that guy. You know the type, honor roll, varsity, everything, knew how to play mom and dad like a fiddle. Meanwhile, I was the tough one, the moody kid, the one who didn't follow the plan. Jordan just bought his first house. Massive deal for him. He's been blowing up our family group chat for weeks with pictures of paint swatches, links to TikToks about kitchen renovations, stupid memes about moving stress, and endless debates about whether the couch should be earth tone neutral or statement mustard. Mom's eating it up. Dad's forwarding articles about lawn maintenance. I'm mostly ignored, but that's nothing new. Honestly, I was happy for him at first. Like, genuinely. Buying a house in this market? Respect. But the constant parade of praise got old real fast. I started noticing I was being left out of the little side convos. When Jordan posted pics of the empty living room, Mom would comment stuff like, "Can't wait to see it filled with love." I'd chime in with something, nothing. Crickets. My name might as well not even be in the chat. Then Saturday happened. I was running errands on that side of town. Didn't plan it, didn't stalk anyone, just a regular trip to grab new tires and stop by the bank. Jordan's new place is off Millstone Drive, a fancy cul-de-sac with those wide sidewalks and trees planted at mathematically perfect intervals. As I drove past, I noticed cars. Like, a lot of cars. Lined up on both sides of the road, parked up onto the grass, even one blocking part of a fire hydrant. I clocked my mom's silver Corolla, my Uncle Gene's rusty Ford Expedition, and my cousin Danny's bright yellow Fiat. The kind of cars you don't mistake. My foot eased off the gas on instinct. My hands tightened around the wheel. There were balloons tied to the mailbox. A rental bouncy castle bobbed slightly in the backyard. Music, actual speakers, not just a phone, thumped something bright and summery through the open front windows. I pulled over, heart doing that weird heavy beat thing. Just watched for a second. People, my people, laughing in the driveway, red Solo cups in hand. My dad talking with Jordan next to a smoker that looked brand new. Little kids running around, one wearing a cape. It was a whole party. A whole damn housewarming. And I wasn't invited. My first thought, maybe it's a surprise thing? Maybe they just forgot to text me? But even as I thought it, I knew I was lying to myself. I opened the group chat. Last message? Jordan smiling in front of the porch with Mom and Dad, captioned, "Wouldn't be here without my people." Not me. Not even a mention. I sat there, parked 2 houses down, engine idling, watching them celebrate. I could have just walked up. Could have acted like I belonged. But I didn't. That much was clear. So I called Jordan. I don't know what I thought would happen. He answered, already distracted. "Yeah? Hey," I said. "Just drove past, didn't know there was something going on today. Am I supposed to be there?" There was silence on the other end. Then, "Why would we invite you?" His voice was flat. No hesitation. "Nobody wants you here. You always make things worse." I thought maybe he was joking. My voice cracked just a little. "Seriously? You're messing with me, right?" In the background, I heard my mom. Not even trying to be quiet. She said, "This house isn't for mistakes like him." Then the line went dead. I didn't cry. I want that on record. Not because I'm too tough or whatever, but because the emotion wasn't sadness, it was something heavier. Like a slow burn starting in my chest and spreading out to my hands and neck. The kind of rage that doesn't explode. It settles. Sharp and bitter. I just sat there. Watched Jordan high-five someone. My mom laughing over a tray of cupcakes. Dad flipping burgers. All of them acting like I didn't exist. I texted my mom. Wow. Got it loud and clear. Left on read. I called Dad. Straight to voicemail. I could have gone home. Could have screamed into a pillow, posted a vague tweet, done whatever people do when they realize they've been shut out by the people who made them. But I didn't go home. I pulled into a gas station lot, parked under a flickering security light, and sat there for almost an hour. Scrolling Reddit, playing word games, staring at nothing. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I didn't want to go back to the version of me who would have said it's fine and tried again. Eventually, I tried calling my friend Leo. He was busy, said he'd call back later. I almost told him. Almost. But I just said no worries. There was a part of me that wanted to drive back to that party and make a scene. Say something loud and dramatic. Knock over a tray of wings, yell about who's really been holding this family's Wi-Fi together for the past 10 years. But I didn't. Not because I'm the better man. Honestly, I just didn't want to give them more proof. More ammo. The see? That's why we didn't invite him kind of reaction. So I stewed. And later, lying on my bed, I scrolled through Instagram stories like a masochist. There they were at glass clinks, toasts, hugs, the caption "Family is everything" under a boomerang of Jordan popping champagne. A picture of my mom and Jordan cheek to cheek with the tag "Proudest moment ever." They knew I saw. My car was obvious. I have a dented black Civic with a license plate frame that says "Let me overthink that." It's not stealth. No one said a word. Around midnight, I texted Jordan one last time. Say less. I won't forget this. And I'll make sure you don't either. No reply. I'm pretty sure he blocked me. Since then, I've been thinking about how many times I've shown up for these people. Every time their printer jammed, every time Jordan couldn't figure out how to log into his Gmail, every time Mom forgot her Apple ID password. I was there. Quiet, reliable, invisible. Well, not anymore. I'm not your fixer. I'm not your family tech support. And I'm definitely not your mistake. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm done pretending this is normal. I'm done being the extra in their perfect family photo. Let's just say, I've got ideas. People keep asking me, why is your family like this? What actually happened? And honestly, that's a hard question to answer without going back. Like, way back. Because it wasn't one big thing that made me realize I didn't belong. It was 1,000 small things. A slow erosion. You don't wake up one day and say, hey, maybe my family doesn't actually like me. It's more like you start to notice you're always cold and only later realize no one ever gave you a blanket. I guess I should start by saying this, I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be. I've got a short fuse, I speak before I think, and I've definitely made mistakes. But what people don't get is that when you're already the one everyone blames, it doesn't really matter what you do, you're guilty either way. Jordan, my brother, was always the good one. Even when we were kids. He had this perfect mix of charm and performance. Teachers loved him. He smiled the right way, played the right sports, got the right grades. Me? I was the kid who fidgeted too much, asked too many questions, didn't know how to keep my voice even when something felt unfair. My third grade teacher wrote in a report card, Noah has leadership potential but needs to learn when to be quiet. That was the story of my life. One memory always sticks out. I was 12, Jordan was 13. We were fighting over the Nintendo Switch, well, the original one, not the OLED version. He wanted to play Mario Kart, I wanted to finish my run in Zelda. He grabbed the controller, shoved me off the couch, and I hit the edge of the coffee table. Nosebleed, tears, the whole thing. Mom walked in, took one look, and said, "What did you do now, Noah?" I tried to explain, blood running down my lip, and she just cut me off. Don't make this a bigger deal than it is. Jordan? He sat there, calm as ever, holding the controller like he was auditioning for a cereal commercial. He didn't get grounded. I got no screens for a week. Classic. That kind of thing didn't stop as we got older. Jordan knew how to glide through life, say just enough to win people over, and I didn't. I wasn't reckless or criminal, I just didn't toe the line. I'd challenge stuff. Push back. My mom would always say, why do you have to make everything harder than it needs to be? And it's like, I didn't want to. I just couldn't help noticing how everything felt rigged. It got worse in high school. Jordan was prom court, varsity soccer, AP classes. I barely passed math and got called disruptive in English because I asked too many questions about assigned essays. At family dinners, the conversations always turned to Jordan's game stats or his college applications. One Thanksgiving, I mentioned I was thinking about going into creative writing. My dad blinked, then said, "You're good with computers. Do something practical." That night, I ate pie in the garage. When it came time for college, Jordan got into his first pick, some shiny East Coast school with brick buildings and legacy plaques on every wall. I went to community college for a year, then dropped out. I wasn't failing, but I wasn't thriving either. Just felt hollow. Like I was walking through someone else's hallway with no idea where my door was. My mom told everyone I was taking a gap year to find myself. What she meant was he didn't measure up. After that, I bounced around a bit: tech support job, some freelance IT work, a couple temp contracts. Nothing flashy, but I paid my rent and kept the lights on. Meanwhile, Jordan graduated, got a job at a startup with kombucha on tap, and started dating Cecilia, who, to her credit, was always polite to me even if I could tell she pitied me a little. And through it all, I was the helper. Every time someone's Wi-Fi glitched, I got a text. When Jordan forgot his Apple ID password again, I got the call. When Mom couldn't figure out why her printer was offline, I was summoned. I was the tech whisperer, the heavy lifter, the errand guy. No one ever said thank you. Just finally, or what took you so long? I didn't realize how bitter I was getting. Not at first. It was just normal. Just the way things were. But looking back, there were signs. Like when Jordan crashed Mom's car when he was 17. Scraped the entire passenger side on a mailbox. Came in sobbing, told them I distracted him, that I was yelling about something. I wasn't even in the car. But guess who got grounded for creating a stressful environment? Or when Dad couldn't find a work email and blamed me for not fixing the router right. Turned out his inbox was just filtered wrong. No apology. Just silence and the next request. Even the good moments came with strings. When Jordan first moved into his house, he asked me to help set up the whole smart system. We're talking thermostat, lights, security cams, door locks, garage, all of it. I spent hours reading manuals, configuring routines, teaching him how to use voice commands. I didn't charge him. He didn't offer. Just said, "Man, you're the best." And then posted on Instagram. So grateful to have a tech-savvy best friend. No tag. No credit. No mention of his brother. When I mentioned it later, kind of jokingly, he just said, "Didn't want people to think I didn't do it myself." That stung more than I admitted. So yeah, when that housewarming happened, when they all gathered, Mom, Dad, cousins, uncles, aunts, even people I barely remember from childhood, and I wasn't even given the courtesy of a heads up. It wasn't just about that day. It was about every day before it. Every little dismissal. Every time they called me only when something was broken. Every holiday where I brought the same store-bought pie and got the same, "Oh, you didn't bake?" side-eye. Every conversation that turned away when I opened my mouth. And I get it. Jordan made life easier for them. He was predictable, polished, Instagram ready. I was a little sharp around the edges. Messy, unfiltered. But I was still there. Still helping. Still showing up. Until now. After the housewarming, something snapped. It wasn't dramatic. I didn't throw a fit. I didn't rage post or send a big text thread about how unfair everything was. I just stopped. Stopped replying. Stopped fixing things. Stopped being available. First, nothing happened. Jordan posted more photos of his dream home. Mom shared them with emojis and gushy captions. Dad forwarded an article about grill maintenance. Business as usual. But then the small cracks started showing. Jordan's garage opener stopped syncing. Mom couldn't access her email. The thermostat started acting up. Notifications got delayed. I knew because they all tried to contact me, and I ignored them. For the first time in my life, I let their problems stay their problems. And the silence on my end? It was deafening. Not just for them, but for me too. I realized I didn't miss them. I missed the version of them I used to wish for. That was the moment everything changed. I didn't announce it. Didn't throw down some grand ultimatum or blast the group chat with a dramatic exit message. I just went quiet. No more answering texts. No more troubleshooting Dad's endless email issues. No more walking Mom through her phone settings. No more saving Jordan's tech-challenged ass. And for a while, it felt like nothing changed. Jordan kept posting videos from his house like he was starring in some HGTV side hustle. My parents kept pretending their version of the family still included me even though I was only ever useful when something broke. But then things started slipping. Jordan's smart home setup, the one I basically built from scratch, started glitching. Not because I sabotaged anything, but because he never learned how to manage it on his own. I'd warned him to change the admin passwords, to take over the app controls, to understand the systems. He never did. Too busy. Too sure I'd always be around. So when the lights stopped turning on when he walked in, or the thermostat reset to 58 degrees at night, or the garage refused to open unless you manually typed in the code, he panicked. I started getting voicemails. Friendly at first. Hey man, think the hub's acting up again. Could use your eyes on it. Then less friendly. Dude, this is getting ridiculous. Can you just help out for 5 seconds? I didn't answer any of them. Mom texted the family chat. Your brother says the house is acting crazy again. Noah, can you please help him? I left it on read. Next Saturday, I ran into her at the grocery store. I was scanning some oranges in self-checkout when she appeared next to me like a ghost. Her voice was already tight. You're really not going to help him? I didn't even look at her. Nah, I'm good. She slapped my arm. Not hard, but not playfully either. The kind of slap that says I embarrassed her in public. A couple people looked over. I calmly placed the oranges in my bag and walked out. And that's when it shifted. The silence turned into discomfort for them. Because for the first time I wasn't cleaning up after them. I wasn't making their lives easier. I wasn't giving them the satisfaction of control. I didn't touch anything illegal. Didn't hack anything. Just logged into systems Jordan never took responsibility for and disabled the routines. His smart life became just a regular, frustrating life. The trash reminder? Gone. The front door autolock? Disabled. Sprinkler schedule? Erased. The house still worked, but only if you did the work. Then I remembered something else, the HOA portal. I helped Jordan set it up when he moved in. He never changed the password. So I logged in, looked around, and just started clicking. Not to mess with him. Just to report what was already true. Trash bins out past the pickup window? Reported. Car parked on the grass? Noted. Fence in the back missing 2 panels? Flagged. I didn't fabricate anything. I didn't need to. Jordan was sloppy. He relied on the system I built to keep things clean and running. And without me, he was exposed. Late fees started stacking. Warning letters arrived. He got a citation about the mailbox being non-standard. I found out because my uncle called me. Harper. He said, Jordan's freaking out. Can you just go over and fix whatever you broke? I laughed. I didn't break anything. That's kind of the point. There was a pause and then he gave me the line I've heard 100 times. You know how your brother is? Yeah. I do. The next family gathering was my cousin Danny's birthday. I almost didn't go. But I knew if I skipped it, the narrative would shift to Noah's isolating himself again. So I showed up. Jordan was there, of course, already irritated because the Bluetooth speaker wasn't syncing. Mom gave me a look like I was an unexpected guest at my own funeral. I didn't say much, hung out with Danny's kid who liked the stickers on my phone case. Ate 2 hot dogs, drank a soda, and kept my back to the house. Then Jordan cornered me by the drink table. Can you just fix the speaker? He said, barely hiding his frustration. I shrugged. Ask Mom. She doesn't know how. Exactly. His jaw tightened. Why are you being such a dick? Why are you asking me anything? I replied. You made it pretty clear I'm not family. He stepped closer, just enough to make it weird. Nobody else knows how. I leaned in. Yeah, that's the point. He shoved me. Not hard. Just enough to knock my drink a little. I looked at the spilled soda on my shoe and said, calm as hell, touch me again and see what happens. He backed off. Slammed the patio door behind him. 10 minutes later, Mom cornered me in the kitchen. Her voice was low, rehearsed. You're making a scene. You dragged me in here. You should be grateful we even included you after how you've been acting. I stared at her. What does that mean? She sighed. That classic sigh. The one that says you'll never understand, so why should I bother? I walked out. Didn't say goodbye. That night, I started making a list. Everything I'd ever fixed. Everything I'd ever set up, downloaded, wired, explained. Just to see if I was crazy. The list was long. Like, disturbingly long. From resetting Mom's Apple ID 8 separate times to syncing Jordan's entire smart home to restoring Dad's hard drive when he accidentally deleted a year's worth of photos. And I realized something, they didn't even know what they depended on me for. Because they never had to think about it. They just expected it. Not anymore. And the best part? I wasn't doing anything. I was just letting them experience life without me. Turns out that's a whole disaster all by itself. It's been a few weeks since the birthday cookout, since the speaker incident, since the kitchen conversation where my mom told me I should be grateful to be included. And in that time, I haven't lifted a single finger for them. No calls returned. No texts answered. No help given. And watching everything quietly fall apart without me? Honestly, it's been peaceful. Jordan's house is turning into a very expensive nightmare. The routines I set up, the ones that made his life seamless? They're gone. Not broken. Just gone. No more good morning lights that eased him into the day. No more thermostat adjusting when he leaves work. No more security alerts routed through the app one configured. He still doesn't know how to fix it. Probably hasn't even figured out that all he needs to do is read the manual I emailed him a year ago. The HOA fines are stacking up. First it was the trash cans. Then the lawn. Then some issue with his mailbox being a quarter-inch too short. I didn't report any of that. I just didn't stop him from running headfirst into the wall I always buffered. Meanwhile, Mom's still locked out of her Apple account. Her texts to the family chat are just screenshot after screenshot of the same error message, like posting it enough times will somehow summon a fix. My dad, as always, is quiet unless it involves his tech. He hasn't called, but I know he's trying to reset his own router because I used to get weekly calls about it. Even Cecilia, Jordan's wife, tried reaching out. She sent me a long, polite text saying she knows tensions are high and she's just trying to hold the household together and maybe we could talk over coffee? I read it 3 times. Thought about replying. But then I remembered she was at the housewarming too. Smiling. Toasting. Laughing. I left her on read. The shift happened faster than I expected. One week it was Noah always overreacts. The next it was we really need Noah to come take a look. They still haven't apologized. Not once. What they want is for things to go back to normal. But normal was me being invisible unless something needed fixing. That version of me is gone. Last weekend, Jordan showed up at my apartment. No warning, just rang the bell. I watched him through the peephole. He looked tired. Less like the golden boy, more like someone fraying at the edges. When I cracked the door open, he launched right into it. This is ridiculous. Nothing in the house works. The cameras go off at 3 a.m., the garage won't open half the time, the HOA is breathing down my neck, and Mom's blaming me for everything now. I didn't say anything. He took a breath. Just come over. I'll pay you whatever. Just fix it. I opened the door a little wider. You said nobody wanted me there. Remember? He flinched. I didn't mean it like that. Mom said the house wasn't for mistakes like me. He looked down. That wasn't, she was upset. Save it. He tried to push past me. I blocked the doorway. Don't make this physical, I said. He froze. We stared at each other. The silence stretched. Then he turned and left. Later that night, my phone rang. Dad's number. I let it ring twice, then answered out of sheer curiosity. We need to talk, he said. Man to man. About what? This family's falling apart. And it's because of all this drama. You're making things harder than they need to be. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Welcome to my world. He didn't like that. His voice got low, sharp. Your brother's trying. Your mother's beside herself. And you're sitting there doing nothing while we fall apart. I did everything for years, I said. And you all treated me like I was disposable. That's not true. Really? Then name one time, just one, where any of you helped me with anything. Silence. I hung up. A few hours later, the group chat buzzed. First time in months that I was included in something that wasn't just technical support. It was my mom. All caps. We need to fix this. Please tell us what to do. We didn't mean it. We just want things back to how they were. Then Jordan. I'll pay you. Just come by. Tell me what you need. Then Cecilia. Can we please talk? Just coffee, no pressure. I just want peace. I stared at the screen. My hands didn't even move. There was no part of me that felt satisfaction. Just a quiet sort of clarity. This wasn't revenge. This was release. I muted the chat. Went for a walk. Sat on a bench at the park near my place and watched a dad teach his daughter how to ride a bike. The wind was just cold enough to bite and I had no one asking me to reset a password or reprogram their life. For the first time in years, I felt weightless. My family still exists. They still live in that house. Still go to the same church. Still make group decisions. Still eat dinner without asking about me. But now they know what I've known for years. When I'm gone, things don't run right. And I'm not gone because I'm cruel. I'm gone because I finally realized that being useful isn't the same as being valued. They called me a mistake. Now they know what it feels like to lose the one thing they never appreciated. I'm not their fixer anymore. I'm not their backup. And I'm definitely not their mistake.